In Sicily, silence could mean the difference between life and death. This secret code, called Omerta, wasn't just some unspoken rule, it was the very backbone of the Mafia. For anyone who dared to break it, the consequences were almost always fatal. In this episode, we go in deep into the heart of this shadow world to explore how the law of silence protected the Mafia for generations and kept entire communities trapped in fear. The roots of Omerta go way back, born from the chaos of early Sicily. Back then, government was weak, and the law offered little to no protection for ordinary people. If you wanted to keep your family safe, you couldn't rely on the authorities. You had to rely on yourselves. Out of this desperation, local protection groups started to form. What began as a way for communities to defend themselves slowly twisted into something much darker, evolving into the criminal organizations we now know as the Mafia. In this dangerous new world, loyalty and silence weren't just virtues. They were survival tools. Speaking to the authorities, that was completely unthinkable. It was seen as the ultimate betrayal, not just against the organization, but against your own family and community. This unwritten law became the foundation of their power. It created a world where the only justice that mattered was the one enforced in the shadows, far from the eyes of the state. So, how was Omerta enforced? Not in a courtroom with judges and juries, but on the streets, with fear as the judge, jury, and executioner. The Mafia's message was brutally simple. Talk, and you pay the price. Witnesses who considered testifying against them would often disappear or be found dead, sometimes killed in broad daylight in front of their own families to send a chilling message to everyone else. The Mafia's power wasn't just in their numbers or their weapons. It was in their ability to intimidate. They made sure every single person, from the smallest shopkeeper to the most powerful politician, understood that loyalty was non-negotiable and silence was mandatory. Betrayal was met with swift, merciless punishment. This constant, simmering threat created a psychological prison. Fear became the Mafia's strongest and most effective weapon, ensuring that their secrets remained buried inside the Mafia. One principle stood above all else: family over the law. This wasn't just about blood relatives. The entire organization was seen as one big, dysfunctional family. Members were expected to protect one another at all costs, even if it meant committing crimes themselves to shield a fellow member from justice. This intense code of loyalty created an invisible shield, a wall of silence that made it nearly impossible for law enforcement to penetrate their ranks for decades. Prosecutors would hit a dead end every time because no one would talk. This deep-seated allegiance to the family over the state is what allowed the Mafia to operate with near-total impunity. Even though the classic Sicilian Mafia has changed, the legacy of Omerta lives on. Its principles of silence and fear are still echoed in organized crime syndicates all over the world, from the Yakuza in Japan to cartels in Latin America. It is a powerful reminder of how a code built on fear can sometimes be stronger than any law written in a book. Understanding Omerta gives us a chilling glimpse into how the Mafia became so untouchable for so long, and it reveals the terrifying power that fear can have in shaping an entire society. If you found this look into the code of silence fascinating, you'll want to see where it all began. Click here to watch our first episode on the birth of the Mafia. And don't miss what happens next when they cross the ocean in episode 3, from Sicily to America. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss another episode exploring the dark history of the world's most secretive organizations. Thanks for watching.